1,000 pair. Welcome to another edition of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Woo! And you are watching, taking part, being part of the best currency in the entire world, and is being broadcasted live from Calgary. Woo! Welcome everybody to another edition of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Those just joining in, you haven't missed a thing. Just getting things kicking off with Trump's inauguration. This is a massive, big event for the SHIB community, for the cryptocurrencies and their power. Woo! If we can talk about something else, that would be great, which we will get into right away. We'll just share this link and explain what's going on with SHIB and why it is going down. Okay. Bear with me, guys. We're going to get into tonight's festivities. Just a minute. Hey, Prince, welcome. Yeah, Trump coin is tanking. Those that took part could have obviously shorted it, but it was only represented by 2 exchanges. So, yeah. So, massive shout out to Prince, my trustee, marketing director. Woo! Big shout out to you, buddy. And we're going to get into what's going on with the cryptocurrencies in general. Just give me a second. We're going to count it down for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. If you missed it for the first time, you haven't missed much. Okay, so Prince, welcome. Babe's channel, welcome. Rowena, whenever you come in, welcome to the channel. Big shout out to Jason Cox. The reason why we're late with this is because we're waiting for the executive orders from President Trump, which were just announced. So we were going to get into a little discussion about what that means for us on part of the global stage, on what Trump is expecting and what we're expecting from Trump for cryptocurrency. So it's amazing to me to see that everybody is selling off on cryptocurrency. It baffles the mind, because it's considering that Trump is exuberant when it comes to cryptocurrency, and probably the most active cryptocurrency president in our history, considering that we've only been around for 11 years. No, more than that. 14 years, right? Almost 15 years in business. So just so that everybody has an understanding of what was going on, Bitcoin was just introduced after the economic collapse in the United States history. You're seeing it happen again. I don't know if anyone's been keeping up on current events or anything, but 30,000 foreclosures last month of December. That's just before Christmas, people. So the jobs numbers were so impressive, but it's still not affecting the housing crisis that is going on in the U.S. right now. So please keep that in mind going forward. So there is a bit of a hiccup to see how things are going to equate. Now, just saying that, there's so much opportunity in the States right now, because we have Florida, what was just decimated by the hurricane, 2 hurricanes. And the other side of the coin, we just had immense forest fires wiping out majority of California. So there's a huge opportunity for people who are willing to pack up and move to the States to help rebuild the United States of America. And they happen to be in the beltline sectors of the United States. So, like, if anyone's thinking about rebuilding, this would be a perfect opportunity to start doing so. Imagine all the hotels and motels that would have to be rebuilt. What about the condominiums that they're going to need to rebuild to keep up with the population growth? So you have to keep that in mind too. So in those belt regions, especially in Florida, where they got lots of ocean view. Wow, it's on Robinhood, Jason. Just got announced today. Well, let's go look. Welcome to the channel, Jason. Thanks for sharing that bit of information here. I'm just going to look here. It's here somewhere, unless I eradicated it. Never happens, right, guys? Okay, so where is Trump coin? Trump coin is now 22. It's at 41.56. SHIB is at 20.70. Right now, is that a good price to jump in? Absolutely not. Usually, if it goes below 2,100, that's usually a sell-off. I'm just. It is what it is, guys. It means that it needs to go to 18 before it gets a pop. That's normally the gist of it. Right now, that being said, we do have 22,000 new wallet holders in the last 24 36 hours. 24 to 36 hours. What is our volume? Good question. Let's go check that volume out for you. And the volume is 1.88 trillion. So we are on the light side, because normally at this time we would expect 4 trillion, okay, in volume. So we have very little volume on SHIB. Therefore, you're seeing a bit of more sellers than buyers. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. Pick your poison, but don't go all in. Never go all in. What do we say? If it's below where you bought it, you can add to it, but please do so in a what? Responsible manner. So use it like a lottery ticket. If you were buying a lottery ticket tonight, how much would you spend on a lottery ticket? Please use that terminology to figure out what you want to buy in SHIB. So if you were to buy a lottery ticket tonight, how much would you spend? $10, $20, $30 on a lottery ticket? That's what you would spend on SHIB. It's no difference. It's no deferral, right? It's exact same principle. Robinhood. Absolutely. Why? Why do we love Robinhood, Jason? The fees are incredible. There's like zero fees buying it on Robinhood. Unfortunately, in Canada, we don't have the ability to use Robinhood, which is a total sham, because it should be here in Alberta. I can't wait. That would be one of the things that we would look forward to if we had a universal credit system with the United States, because then it would be just transferable, right? I know Kevin O'Leary is working on that. I don't know how far we're going to get with it, but that would be something that would be very interesting, because Prince, as you know, our Canadian dollar sucked, and we have a yo-yo for a prime minister who still can't stop spending money. Even though he's gone, and he knows he's gone, he still cannot help himself spending money. I bet you he was at the inauguration today. Anyone got word on that or not? Because that's ridiculous. He's not even the prime minister anymore, and he's making deals. He's going out and talking to premiers about the tariffs. I mean, you're not the prime minister anymore. You gave up that spot. So why would you be going out? Because now the next person that comes in is going to have to do the exact same thing you just did. It doesn't change anything. You're out. Yeah, you're taking on the responsibility of opening Parliament and then closing Parliament. That is your job. That is all you're supposed to do. Why is it that they get caught up in this nonsense where he's got to spend even more money? Reminds me of Biden. He just can't help himself. It's just like it's a foregone conclusion that he's got an infinite amount of money that he can spend at his disposal. It's just ridiculous. And I wish someone would explain it to me so that I could understand it, because I just don't get it. I mean, all the stuff you're doing now, you're going to have to redo. Someone else is going to have to redo it and spend twice the amount of money because you spent it. Now they're going to have to spend it again and do the exact same thing you just did. And it's going to get the same results. It's just baffles me on the amount of money that they could spend on nothing. And then the Canadian government, the Canadian people are on the hook for it. There's only 43 million of us in the entire country, and yet we blew a $40 billion budget. Like, think about it, like $40 billion. How much money is that per person? Like, 43 million should be your budget, shouldn't it? You shouldn't have a big budget in the first place because you only have 43 million people. Why wouldn't it even be $1 billion? That makes zero sense. $1 billion maybe over 10-year time, or $3 billion over a 10-year time. But this is ridiculous. I mean, the amount of money that it's insufferable is what it is. Absolutely insufferable. Oh no, we got money. Yeah, no, but not every one of us is working. 10% unemployment rate in Toronto. 10%. 6.7% in Alberta. 6.3% in Calgary alone. I think it's 5.8 now. Sorry, 5.8. We increased by 4 basis points just like that because of what I said. No, it's ridiculous, the amount of money that's being spent, and then there's no consequences whatsoever for it. How does this affect crypto? Okay, so right now, as you can tell, no executive orders for cryptocurrency. But remember this, even if he gives an executive order, it's still going to go before Congress. And Congress can shut it down just like that, okay? Because there's a few I's that's got to be dotted, there's a few T's that got to be crossed when it comes to cryptocurrencies being implemented as currency to help out the U.S. Now, I'm not saying that SHIB should jump in, or he's going to jump into SHIB right away and get it implemented. There's a few things that he has to do before he can even make an executive order, but an executive order would give it some precedent. Even if he did it with Bitcoin, it would still, would pop Bitcoin up in a heartbeat. And right now, Bitcoin's sitting at that 101, 100 range, and we're sitting at 401,999, which is ridiculous when you think about it. But hey, it is what it is. If you got some extra money kicking aside and you're below the red line on your portfolio by more than 20%, absolutely buy your hearts out, $50 or whatever. I wouldn't suggest, like we always say, Prince, whatever you're spending on a lottery ticket is what you buy SHIB with, because it's that cheap. And we don't know where the bottom is because people are redonkulous when it comes to SHIB. They have no concept of what SHIB is. SHIB should never be trading at this level ever, 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 ever. Why? Wallet holders, my friends, is your what? Catalyst. All those people jumping in, and there's very little people jumping out, but the ones jumping out hold a lot of SHIB. So they don't want to lose their shirt. Oh, I understand. But that means that they don't have a clue how much power SHIB has. And that's like Biden with the US dollar, or Trudeau with the Canadian dollar. They have no concept of it, like zero concept of it. So they're going to, hey, we can spend. I don't care who's going to pay it back. Piss on them. It'll be the next 20 generations. They don't care. And that's why they should be gone. Same thing with Biden. You keep spending money like it's your own personal piggy bank that's endless. Like, there's no concept of, I'm overspending someone else's money. That doesn't even affect them. Like, wow, when you overspend, you get that worry feeling in your gut, how much money you're spending, and you're like, I'm never going to be able to pay this back. I'm going to have to claim bankruptcy. I'm going to have to go to get a consumer proposal done. Nothing like that for these people. It's just unreal. It's like, you guys don't feel bad about spending generations' wealth? Nope, don't care. Okay, well, someone's going to bail you out, right? Yeah, China. Yeah, Obama did that. China was looking like it was going to own America. That's the truth of it, because they were borrowing so much money. And then Trump steps in and says, no. No, 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 no. You have stolen so much money from us. We're going to start tear-offing you on the money you owe us. And until that happened, and then the Democrats, what did they do? They gave it back to them. It was like, what are you doing? Oh, but we didn't give it all back because we liked the amount of the money that was coming back to us. Yeah, no kidding, you like the money, but you won't give credit where credit is due. And that was the problem with them. And then they kept spending money anyway. I mean, how much money went to the slush fund for Ukraine? Anybody have any idea how much money went to the slush fund for Ukraine? How much of Canadian dollars went to the slush fund for them in Ukraine? And then how much money has gone into the slush fund for the greenhouse climate change agenda, for carbon tax? How much money went into their personal accounts through dummy, what do they call it? False businesses that were raised by them. What happened to we? How come this guy gets in power? Every single time he does something wrong, he still gets back in power. I don't understand it. Either he's rigging the election, because I believe that he is, 100% that he's rigging it. That's why he won't release documents, because he's afraid. 2017, the Liberal government was warned about the pine beetle in Jasper. If they did not get rid of this pine beetle, if they made no, sounds like Trump, yeah. If they made no regard to the pine beetle, they were warned that Jasper would burn to the ground. What happened? Don't worry, God's got it. And then they blamed it on greenhouse emissions. Yep, you got it. Climate change, baby, all the way. Even though they knew about it in 2017, did nothing about it. Not a thing. And what happened? It burnt to the ground. 2023. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. 2024, right? Burnt to the ground. Gone. Jasper's gone. And now it's rebuilding time. So there's some jobs for rebuilding in Jasper. Awesome. Thank you. Right? Massive rebuilding. Of course, who wants to rebuild when they don't know when the next fire is going to break out? Hopefully it destroyed the pine beetle. If not, they have to go back in there and find out where the pine beetle is, destroy it, and bring in some dozers and start clearing out old trees. Otherwise, you're going to have the exact same problem in 3 to 4 years from now. The exact same problem, probably even worse than what it was before. Look what happened in Los Angeles. Where's the fire breaks that were supposed to be put in 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Nothing. Even the last 10 years, they did nothing. Okay, so no fire breaks. They turn the water off during high wind season. Well, perfect. Just a perfect storm. And then, even to top it all off, there's people going around with blowtorches setting things on fire. Are you kidding me? And where did they get this equipment from? Because a lot of them were immigrants, and there's no evidence. Get a load of this one. I love this one in California. There's no evidence to detain these people. You caught them with... This is why it's funny. Come on, they got to be laughing. They catch them with torches, blowtorches, got gasoline, lighting fires to dumpsters. People caught them. They catch them, they put them on the side of the tree, wait for the police to show up. The police show up, they catch them, they detain them, they take them down to the hall. What happens to these people? They get released in 2 hours. They're back on the street. There's no evidence to secure them. Do you know why they don't want to secure them? Because they have to feed them, clothe them, and put them in prison. These people live on the street. That's why and everything's on fire. So, hey, there's no place for you. I'm sorry. You'll have to go back out on the street, start some more fires, would you? So yeah, have a great night. Right, that's and this is not to get away from SHIB or the cryptocurrency part of it, but it's kind of funny when you think about it. So the cryptocurrency right now is taking a bit of a leg because everybody's waiting for that executive order to see if Trump is going to sign an executive order for the cryptocurrency, because they want to know if he's going to keep his promise with Bitcoin. If that keeps his promise with Bitcoin, it's still going to go before Congress. So even though it may get announced tonight, yeah, exactly, Prince, exactly. So even if he does announce, it that he wants to set Bitcoin, um, to give Bitcoin 500 to buy 5 million Bitcoin, it's still going to go before Congress to get approved, which it probably will never get approved for that much money, because you have to subside how much money that actually is, right? Like 5 million Bitcoin would shoot Bitcoin up like a bullet. Okay. But the problem is that Congress has to pass it. For them to pass that bill would be short of a miracle. Now, maybe 1 million, maybe even 1.5 million Bitcoin, um, they might get that order go through to offset the balance of power with the US dollar. Now, what does that mean for SHIB? Now, I heard on certain aspects that Donald Trump was looking at SHIB as a possible means to an end the deficit, but that would be a strong order too, because it would have to go before Congress. And it would be easier to get Bitcoin to go through than it would be SHIB, because you have to state the case for SHIB. Like with Bitcoin, everybody knows Bitcoin because of El Salvador. So if you know about El Salvador, you know exactly what side Bitcoin falls on. Well, when it comes to money, Prince, you have to go through Congress, right? Everything's got to go through Congress. Even though SHIB is owned in Congress, they still would have to get an executive order or a presidential, just to look at it, right? Just to even put through an idea on how to get the deficit under control. SHIB can do it, by the way, guys. SHIB could do it. But and it's cheaper than Bitcoin. Absolutely 100% cheaper than Bitcoin. But Robinhood would have to be talking to Congress. Um, uh, Crypto.com would have to be talking to, and Binance. No one's going to talk to Binance from Congress, and they own trillions of SHIB. They have trillions of SHIB out there. Yeah, big shout out to Wena. Woo! Thanks for coming. Really appreciate that. So, for that to take effect, it would need a lot. It would need a lot of people to even make a case for SHIB. But SHIB should be the number one thing that they look at because it's so cheap. And if that were to happen, um, every exchange on the planet would buy SHIB in a heartbeat. If that was even talked about. So, like right now, we're at what, 11 billion dollar market cap? Can you imagine if the US said that they were coming out tomorrow and buying up 90% of SHIB? Imagine what SHIB price would just skyrocket. It would just explode. Okay, so it won't happen. What'll happen is, Morgan Stanley Chase is involved now. So Morgan Stanley Chase, the U.S. government owes them a massive, massive favor. So if they were to suddenly buy it from Binance, which they could, if they were to suddenly go out there against BlackRock and try and get BlackRock to subsidize them, saying that it's part of the U.S. consulate, to take part in it to reduce the deficit, they might be inclined, but they're not going to take a loss on it. They're going to actually start to sell it to Morgan Stanley at a premium, probably around 30 to 40%, maybe even 50% premium to Morgan Stanley. And then Morgan Stanley is going to hold it against the U.S. Congress as a leverage for the amount of banks that they've had to bail out in the last 4 years. Remember, they bought out all these banks for Biden. So Biden, by buying these banks, has put them in a massive crunch, and the U.S. government owes them big for it. So you know damn well that they're not going to sell one SHIB to U.S. Congress. What they're going to do is they're going to hold it as leverage against the U.S. dollar. It's exactly what's going to happen because they owe them so much money because he took on all this debt from these banks that they've had to buy out. And now those banks would have been what? Burnt to the ground. So those banks would have been what? Protected by the insurance agencies. Now they're not. Now Morgan Stanley's backed by those that got burnt to the ground. But those were insolvent. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out with Morgan Stanley, but I'm betting big money that Morgan Stanley is going to buy a massive chunk of SHIB, only to use as leverage against the U.S. currency, and therefore hold the national bank of the U.S. basically under the gun, as we would say. So either you do business with us or we're going to pull and go somewhere else. And then we'll leverage in, because Japan is in so much trouble that they could leverage a lot of SHIB for Japan. So there's other countries that they could do that with. Canada's one of them. Turkey, okay, Greece. Like there's like 9 countries that they could use that against them, and they would own it all. They would take it all from all the other banks because they would understand. Like the other banks understand what's going on with the National Bank of the U.S., but the U.S. won't allow it to happen because they don't want that to go somewhere else. All of a sudden, all that wealth is going to go to other countries, not our country. You got to be kidding me. That's never going to happen. So that's what's going to happen with that. And watching the inauguration, yes, I was watching the executive orders. Anyone want to know what was going on with the executive orders? Anyone care? So TikTok is basically 50-50, which I don't understand myself. I thought that the best deal for TikTok was 60-40. 60% of it owned by the U.S. and then 40% owned by TikTok. Because without the U.S., TikTok's nothing, okay? So without the U.S., TikTok's nothing. So therefore, TikTok owes the U.S. So if they want to make a deal, this is the time to make the deal, right? They're basically being flushed out. So I'm shocked that Trump would even go with a 50-50. If he knows that they have that much power over TikTok, I would have went with a 60-40 or 70-30. First, you go with 70-30 and say, okay. I understand. You guys invented it, blah, blah, blah. We'll do a partnership 60-40. Because without us, you don't have a company. With us, you have a company that's substantially a lot more than what it is right now. Because you have no partner. And then you have the U.S. as a partner. And then eventually they'll have to buy out the U.S. And it's going to take some time. Trump talk. Yes, Jason, that's exactly what we're going to have is Trump talk. TOK. And that's awesome that everybody's Trump talk. That's awesome. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Trump talk. It should be U.S. talk, right? Or USA talk. Or talk USA. Why is our SHIB going down? Good point. Love it. SHIB is going down because of the cryptocurrencies are going down. And the reason why it was going down before was because there was a lot of people were speculating. Now, I don't know how true it is. They're speculating that people were selling it to buy Trump coin. Now everybody's shorting Trump coin because it went up like a bullet. What happens when it goes up? There's lots of red flags, right? The red flags are it wasn't listed on any major exchanges. Like, if it's Trump, if it's the official Trump coin, Jason, you can vouch for this. It would be listed on every single exchange in the USA. No word of a lie. It would be listed on those exchanges right away, instantly. Coinbase, crypto.com, like these are just given. Robinhood, absolutely. Um, Margex, like these are big companies in the United States. Bybit, why isn't it mentioned in Bybit? I mean, you just go down the list, right? If it was an actual Trump coin, it would be listed on those first before it's listed anywhere else, if it's official. If it's not, it's going to be on secondary, third, and fourth. So Uniswap, was it even on Uniswap, Jason? Was Trump's official coin listed on Uniswap? Because every single coin in the world always lists on Uniswap, even though the fees are astronomical because it's a decentralized exchange. That's why everybody lists on Uniswap. And Uniswap is expensive, but because it realizes the pump and dumps, right? And all the rug pull coins. Rug pull coins, anyone know what a rug pull coin is? It's someone who promotes the piss out of their coin to extremities. They go on every single social media. They pay big money to have it advertised. And then what happens is they talk about it like it's the next biggest cryptocurrency of all time. And then they bring in as many people as they can, but they want big money, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 sunk into these projects before they even launch. And then they tell you after of waiting a month, 2 months before it launches that you can't cash out right away. They make these statements because they know what it does, right? So when they make that statement, what happens? Everybody gets into panic mode because now they can't sell it right away. They got to wait 60 days to 90 days before they can cash out. But the executives don't have that issue. They cash out immediately right after it launches. So once it launches, people start piling into it. They got to wait the 60 days because they get the 30% kickback on it. Well, the 30% kickback is a what? Scam right off the bat. It's a scam. Okay, because that's 30% staking. They're going to offer you, excuse me, but how are you going to offer somebody 30% to 20% staking in your company before it launches? How are you able to do that? And they don't explain it very well. They tell you that it's on a provision of this for copy. What? You're going to copy trade my money before you launch? Yeah, that's why we're giving you the 20 to 30% staking ability. How can you do that when you're dealing with $3 million, $4 million in investments? That means you're going to come out with $300,000 to pay these people? It doesn't make any sense. And then everybody starts to panic, right? Because they're like, how are they going to do this? It's not making any sense. All of a sudden, they do a launch. What happens? They sell. All the executive team sells. So that's what they call a rug pull. So everybody's out except for the people that put their hard-earned money into it, and they're out. They made millions. Everybody else has made zero. All of a sudden, it goes below where they purchased it. Now they can't get rid of it. So then they end up pumping it, trying to get people to buy it so they can get out. It's like a vicious cycle. But they shouldn't have got caught up in it in the first place because should have been able to see the warning signs. Anyone offering you something for nothing usually ends up being nothing. That's the truth of it. So that's what you have to see, and that's what you take pride in. Why people need to understand what's going on when you see those types of things. Now, when someone asks you to put $3,000 worth of something into it, that should be a bug. Now you're seeing the other side of the coin. People are telling you to copy trade on their platform. So take your $300, $250. And the reason why they do that is because it's get you familiar with it, and then you can see that you're making money. But if you ever tried cashing out of it, you can't cash it out. That is another form of fraud, right? But proving it because you put your money on their platform, not their exchange, their platform. They tell you it's part of this cryptocurrency exchange, but it's through their platform. So their platform is the one trading on their exchange, the one that they chose for it, but you have no control over it. Okay, so your meme bot is through your Jason. Are you on Robinhood? Are you using Robinhood, Jason, for your meme bot? Yes, there's such. I'm not using this, but yes, there is a meme bot, and they're just starting with the trading. Okay, so if you're on Robinhood, Robinhood's trusted, right? Because it's owned by BlackRock, so they're heavily financed right off the bat. So you're pretty damn secure in that exchange. Okay, that's the best part. Now the bot part of it is just something new. So excellent. So the fees are like zero on Robinhood, by the way, which is awesome. I wish we had Robinhood in Canada, but we don't. Otherwise, me and Prince would be on it in a heartbeat because the fees are so low and the money comes back is yours. So that's the best part of it. We are using Wealthsimple accounts, not for the 50/50 raffle, but on our own because of the security. So it's like crypto.com. But right now, the other sites that we have aren't trusted. They do way too many maintenance checks for our liking, and they do way too many, too expensive for the other part of it. Simple's expensive, by the way, very expensive to do business with. They want a lot of money. I think because most people are buying SHIB in Canada, so they're not making a lot of money with people invested in SHIB because everybody's waiting for that big pop to go through because everybody needs money. And we realize that SHIB is a massive, massive, massive utility, digital currency. It is massive. And I'm sorry, but people, when you see prices like this on SHIB, you just got to shake your head and say, damn, there's a lot of people not educated. I mean, a lot of people not educated because most of them fall into the trap where they go, it has no utility. Right, Jason? If you talk to people on the street and you talk to them about SHIB, the first thing they'd say is, SHIB's got no utility. Right? When will SHIB have utility? When will it have utility? First thing you should sit there and say to them, you need to go to SHIB5050raffle.com and do some research immediately. You need immediate education in SHIB because if you understood it, you would be like shaking your head going, how come no one else is talking about this? And then you'd be like, yeah, that's exactly it. Zero governance, no wages. Okay, XRP made a blunder just a little while ago. We're going to talk about XRP. XRP made a blunder a little while ago. They went on 60 Minutes and rambled on about how great they're doing. What was wrong with that? 60 Minutes is a democratic multimedia stream that hate cryptocurrency. So the first thing you do is, what are you doing going on 60 Minutes talking about cryptocurrency when all they're going to do is bash cryptocurrency the whole time that you're on it? In fact, they make fun of him, and they're absolutely right about making fun of him because he should have had the know abouts not to do it in the first place. So what did he do to regain that hope and prosperity to his holders? He said that he would come out with a bigger burn in the future and that he was giving a certain amount of airdropping on his cryptocurrency. Now, if someone tells you they're going to do an airdrop on your currency, Jason, what does that mean? That means more minting, right? That means more coins available to the marketplace, which means what? If you're adding more currency, that means you're diluting the price of your currency. This is the problem with having a what? A CEO, a CFO, and wages to be spread around. You're more liable to make mistakes. So now to retract that in the next few months, what are you going to have to do? Either you're going to have to make a statement saying that I'm sorry, we made a mistake. Now what we're going to do is we're going to burn more of our token. That's one way of fixing it. Okay? The other problem is we can mint everything we've just burnt. So the only other way to fix it is to go through a split Okay, reverse coin split or digital coin split, making it less available to everybody else, and then driving down the amount of coins each person actually holds on to. So if you do that, what happens? Well, that means you have a higher price, but you have less coins available to you. So it drives the price up, but the price is going to come crashing down. Except if you have stability. Cryptocurrencies don't have stability, especially if you pull a stunt like that. Every single currency that's done it has lost their shirt. It drives the price up, yes, but what happens right afterward? It comes crashing down. More than half is lost. And if you don't turn it around, then it's going to go down even more. So you lose half of that. So now you're at a quarter of what you once were. And your market cap is shrunk. But that's what happens when you are a company. And then what do? Well, we got to raise capital to get more, to put more utility back into our currency. Well, guess what you got to do? That means you're minting more coin so that you can pay your employees because you're afraid now that you're going to have to lay them off. SHIB doesn't have this problem, people. It has zero governance. The only ones controlling it are you and I, right? This is the whole benefit of SHIB. It's got no governance whatsoever. There's no employees. No one can screw it up. If the U.S. Congress went after SHIB, there's no one that they can put in contempt. There's no way that SHIB can defend itself. It's only got the holders to defend itself. It's got no governance whatsoever. There's no CEO. It can't do a reverse split. It doesn't have that ability. Why? There's no CEO, no CFO to make those stupid decisions for us. I'm sorry to use that ST word. I try not to use those words, but it's the truth. We don't have it, so no one's going to get called it, right? So we just don't have those people in place that they'll make those bad decisions. You don't have good people put in the positions to make good decisions either. But you understand that it's better to have no one at the helm than have someone that's making bad decisions for us. Thanks, Prince, for coming. No problem, buddy. Yeah, we're going to cut this short too, but I was hoping to get more people in, but hey, it is what it is. It's inauguration of Trump, so we take a back seat. That's why I'm late coming in. And yes, no, we did not sell 21,000 tickets. We sold 0 tickets in the last 24 hours, just so everybody knows. And that's why we didn't host a raffle. But it wouldn't have mattered. We probably would have had to held it over till tomorrow because of an inauguration. I was even watching the inaugurations, and I was going through the executive orders, and we're all in the same boat when it comes to Trump and the U.S. Because everybody wants to hear the tariffs. Everybody wants to know what's going on. Trump did announce that the tariffs would happen probably around February 1st, but nothing's in stone about it. So everything's up for negotiations, right? That's the best thing about Trump. Everything's up for negotiations. It's not what's the word? It's not written in stone. Okay, so that's the whole point of negotiations. He wants everybody to come to the table. He doesn't want to leave anything out on the floor. He wants everybody to come to the table. So that's the whole idea of that. Yeah, I'm going to mention those tariffs. It's going to drive you to me. You're going to understand me because I'm going to drive that home. Because I want you to understand that we're in charge, not you. And you have to put your foot down with them and come to him with concrete evidence that says otherwise. Because he's not going to listen to you until you do. But Trump, Trudeau, and Mexico, they don't know how to deal with business people. Business people are easy to deal with. You just got to come with evidence to support your claim. Thank you, everybody. Have a great and wonderful evening. God bless each and every one of you. Jason, so good to see you, my friend. Good to see that you're in Robinhood. Woo! Big shout out to you, and that's awesome that you're saving so much money. That is awesome. I wish more people would come on and say the exact same thing, that I'm in Robinhood. Be proud, right? Because that is one big exchange. You got BlackRock backing you in financially, and that when you sell it, you're selling it back to Robinhood. So that's a huge benefit. Yes, good night, and God bless each and every one of you. Jesus loves you, and make sure you pass on the information. We want to see everybody in SHIB grow in wealth, in position, in health, wealth, and love, right? And we want everybody to participate in this. We want everybody to succeed. If we don't have success, why are we here, right? We all want to grow together. So have a great, wonderful evening, and take good care of yourselves. Peace out, everybody, and we're going to rock you out. Thanks for coming. Where's that techno? There it is. Oh. Good night. God bless. Big shout out to Prince. Big shout out to Jason Talks. Big shout out to Wena. Big shout out to Disclosure, even though I didn't come in tonight. Big shout out to Rowena, Wena, Dave's channel. Massive shout out to you guys. Massive shout out to Jason M. Massive shout out to Ethan M. Massive shout out to Tong and her family. Massive shout out to Leah, Gabriel. Massive shout out to Amy, Trisha. I'm missing somebody. Tintin, Casey. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to Kate. Woo! Let's rock! Should be an exciting year. We're going to make this the best year ever with SHIB. We're going to rock it out with everybody. Peace out, everybody. Good night, and God bless every one of you. Jason, love it, brother. 100 today, 10,000 tomorrow. Need a massive catalyst. What do we need? People. Right. That's our catalyst, everybody. People is our catalyst. Absolutely. What's our utility, Jason? Reduction. You got it, brother. Reduction is our utility. When did that happen? June 2021 by Vladimir Putin with a $410 trillion SHIB burn. Right. Exactly. Massive to every single person on the planet. They didn't catch it. 99% of everybody didn't catch it. Thank you so much for not paying attention. Because we were able to buy it low. Thank you enough. If they would have caught it, Jason, we would be buying it close to 1 cent. That's the truth, brother. But they didn't catch on to it. Thank you. Massive thank you. Every exchange would have bought it like wildfire. Instantly. It would have been should have been epic. It was almost epic. It climbed to 88, right? 4 zeros to 88. And it's still at 4 zeros, 199578. You believe it? You know how many holders we have right now? 1,490,000 and climbing. 2,400 wallet holders in 24 hours. Woo! That is awesome. Awesome! You can't write this stuff, man. This is awesome. That means people who are selling it are clean. They don't know what value is. Sorry, but that's the truth. They don't know what value is. Why do you think I got gold books behind me? It is 1,000,000 times better than gold. 1,000,000 times better than gold. Because gold isn't adding value, it is value, right? It's not adding value, it is value. It's adding value. Why is it adding value? We're reducing shit quickly. Why? Amen, brother. Hallelujah. Thanks be to Jesus Christ. Woo! You're right. This is awesome. God bless you. Take good care of yourself. Have a great day with you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Looking forward to tomorrow. Maybe we'll get 500,000 hits on the website. If we do that, we're in the right place, the right time. Because we're getting ready to rock. And we are going to rock this boat all the way. Around the world 5 times. Reducing the circulating supply, bringing more people in, having a ball. Hey, that's all we got. All we can ask for. Don't forget to hit the like button. The like button. Make sure you share, dream big. Don't dream big, do big things. Right? You're in the best currency ever. Never happens. This is how rare it is. Never happens. Talk to an accountant about it. I'll tell you the exact same thing. It's not possible. Show them the documentation for it. Still, blinders on. Don't want to hear it. Never happened. If it ever happened, ever happened, the first thing they'll say to you, the amount is endless on what the potential of this currency would be. Endless. That's why it never exists. It'll be a guaranteed upon a guaranteed upon a guaranteed investment. That's how rare it is. It never happened. It's got zero governance. Indians got zero governance. Never heard of it. Everything's got governance. SHIB don't have governance. Sorry, it doesn't. The person who invented it, God bless their soul. Jesus must have sent us a message to look at them and see. I was looking at this at 5 zeros. I was dumbfounded. Completely. I couldn't believe it went that low. Someone said today that it would never go that low again. I mean, I guarantee it wouldn't be this low either. Honestly, this should never be below 4 zeros. This should never be below 2 zeros. You are so lucky. Good night. God bless. Have a great night, guys. Woo! Peace out.